neighborhoods. According to the pundits and the so-called experts, if you wanted to keep your barber shop open, you were a threat to public health. If you didn't want a government forcing you or your family to get vaccinated against your will, you were part of the problem. If you wanted to keep your job as a waitress at a local restaurant, they told you that it was too dangerous. If you wanted to go worship in a church, they said no. But you could go gamble in a casino. When parents wanted their kids back in the classroom instead of behind a screen, they listened to the National Teachers Union and the healthcare pundits who said no. But as you know, they didn't stop there. When we expanded days of early voting and made it easier to vote and hard to cheat with Senate Bill 202, Georgia's Election Integrity Act, you remember? They called it Jim Crow 2.0. And Jim Crow with a suit and tie. According to the media, President Biden and their far-left allies, if you support photo ID on absentee ballots, you're a racist. If you wanted access to secure ballot drop boxes and more opportunities to vote early on the weekend, they brought in the Department of Justice. And when you wanted to go to the Major League All-Star Baseball game right here in Atlanta, they put politics ahead of America's pastime and cost our small businesses millions. Y'all, they attacked Georgia, but I'm not sure they realized how hard we would fight back. You see, they didn't know we were not going to be lectured by people who have no idea what it's like to clock into a hard day's work. They came after us, but the truth was on our side. They attacked us because even when times were tough and decisions were hard to make, we did the right thing for hardworking Georgians and their families. We did not waver. We hunkered down. And by God, we kept chopping.
Church every Sunday. Keep the faith and keep looking up.
The economy, but the Republicans are threatening democracy, and maybe they're figuring, you know what? I don't like any of these guys. I'm going to just vote for them.
I think the ticket splitting is incorrect. I've got to go with Boris Sanchez for a projection.
Yeah, Jake, two important projections to bring you, beginning with the race in New York. This race got very close in polling at the end, but in actuality, when the votes were counted, it wasn't very close at all. Incumbent Democrat Kathy Hochul winning her first full term in office. She took over, of course, for disgraced former Governor Andrew Cuomo after he resigned. She defeats Congressman Lee Zeldin to win a first full term in the state of New York. Next, an update for you from the state of Minnesota. Tim Walz, the incumbent Democrat, projected to win re-election there against Scott Jensen, a physician who made some dubious claims about the COVID-19 vaccine. Two Democratic incumbents holding on to the governor's mansion in those two states. As we turn it over to Dana Bash, who has some analysis for us. Dan.
Thank you so much, Boris. Well, on New York, this was a place that President Biden went more than once, where people were looking and saying, is this a situation where high crime, concern about the economy will actually do in a Democrat in a very blue state? And the answer tonight is no.
Yeah, I mean, I think that those issues were very real in this race. I think it was maybe closer than the Democrats wanted it to be. But at the end of the day, the fundamentals of the state of New York kicked in here, and Kathy Hochul is now an elected governor of that state. And I will say this, maybe tomorrow and the day after, we'll be talking a little bit about why didn't people want to believe that this was not as close? I think that a lot of the races tonight are turning out to be they're holes for Democrats in places where I think a lot of Democrats were just nervous about the numbers. They have such PTSD from 2020. We all do. Yeah. From 2020 and 2018 about not understanding whether the polls were really catching things that were happening.
Or back to something that you talked about earlier in terms of New Hampshire. A lot of these states are going back to their DNA. Fact is, New York has not had a Republican governor since George Pataki in 2006. And I got to say, the Republicans did make it a lot closer than we thought they were going to. And Lee Zeldin beat Kathy Hochul up on the issue of crime. It seemed to have saliency. And in the last poll I saw, New Yorkers felt crime was a bigger issue than inflation. But in the end, the DNA held. It's a blue state, and Kathy Hochul is the elected governor.
And then the question is, was it actually in danger? And the fact that there was so much attention put on this and other states, kind of like what Van was saying up in New York, that it got Democratic voters energized in a way that they weren't before. Jake?
All right, Dana, we are staying laser focused on those tight Senate races in Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. Each one is pivotal to determining control of the U.S. Senate. As we wait for more votes to come in and be counted, let's take a quick break and see if the numbers change on the other side. Back after this quick one.
The winter play was really coming together.
46 of the seats. Republicans control 46 of the seats. There are 8 seats remaining. All Republicans need to do is win one net Democratic seat, and they can wrest control of the Senate. But Republicans are definitely not having the night that they thought they were going to have when it comes to picking up seats. In the U.S. House of Representatives, Democrats control 146 seats. Republicans control 183 seats, including 5 pickups. 106 seats remaining. Remember, the magic number there is 218. Neither party has achieved that as of yet. Let's look at some of the seats in the competitive races and the state of play. Remember, at the beginning of the night, we told you there were 82 competitive House races we were keeping an eye on. Republicans need to win 23 of them as of now. They're leading in 26 of them. So right now, they are on track to be able to win control of the House of Representatives. But we're not making that call yet. This is just the status as of right now with the votes as of right now. But right now, leading in 26 competitive seats, they need to win 23. How about the Democrats? Democrats need to win 49 competitive seats, and they're leading in 40 competitive seats. So Democrats not where they need to be. But let's go back to the Senate races. I want to bring in Casey Hunt. Casey, tell us what's going on, because we got some Senate races. I need to know what's going to happen.
We may be waiting a little while for that, Jake, but we can give you an update as to where they stand right now, which is to say that Georgia remains as close as ever. 20,000 votes separating Herschel Walker from Raphael Warnock right now. Excuse me. Neither one of them above 50% with 90% of the vote in. This could stretch out for 4 weeks. In Pennsylvania, this continues to tighten. John Fetterman, 49.3%. Mehmet Oz, 48.2%. Remember, this would be a Democratic pickup if Fetterman were to win here, which would protect Democrats if they lost elsewhere on the map, say in Nevada, perhaps, where Republicans feel very good about their chances. But we've got 84% of the vote in, and the count is going to keep going in Pennsylvania. Now let's check in on Wisconsin, where Ron Johnson is maintaining his lead, the Republican incumbent, over Democrat Mandela Barnes, who sits at 48.4%. So right now, we've always expected this race to be very, very close. Johnson is really doing what he needs to do at this hour, 80% of the vote in Wisconsin. And let's check in now on Arizona, where Mark Kelly is sitting at 57.8%. The Republican Blake Masters, 39.9%. That's a pretty comfortable lead. I think we need to know a little bit more about where the vote is still outstanding in Arizona. Let's now check in on Utah. This is a really interesting one. Mike Lee, the incumbent Republican, at 53.7%. He is facing a challenge from independent Evan McMullin. You may remember him from his brief presidential bid. He was in the CIA. He is someone who has mounted a challenge to Lee, hasn't said who he would conference with. Mitt Romney has stayed out of this race. So far, McMullin is behind Lee, but that's a strong number for an independent running in a situation like this.
Well, one of the great things about these election nights, Casey, is that we have no idea what's going to happen. It's up to the voters, not the pollsters, not the pundits. It's up to the voters, and the voters are giving us some surprises this evening. And probably nobody is more surprised than the man who is the leader of the Republicans in the House of Representatives, Kevin McCarthy. Let's go check in with Manu Raju. He's at the headquarters of House Republicans. Manu, I think that it's fair to say that by now people thought that it would be a bacchanal at House Republican headquarters. It would be raucous. The champagne corks would be popped. It seems kind of serene.
Yeah, and Kevin McCarthy had hoped that this hour, 11 p.m. Eastern hour, that he would be out here declaring victory. They're preparing to give a victory speech at this time, but there are too many races that are too close to call. And talking to his advisors, they're saying they're waiting to see how some key races in the West break, see some key races in the Midwest break before Kevin McCarthy comes out and addresses his supporters. Now, they are still very confident that they will get not just the votes, enough seats to take back the House, but enough seats to have what they consider a comfortable governing majority. They have set a bar at 20 seats, picking up 20 seats. I'm told by Republican sources that they are still confident they can get there, in large part because of the success they are seeing in New York. They believe that can help them ultimately get to where they want to go. Now, McCarthy himself has met with his political advisors at the National Republican Congressional Campaign Committee this evening, as well as his super PAC that has spent hundreds of millions of dollars in key races as he has tracked races race by race, talked to some of the candidates whose support he will also need at the end of the day to become Speaker should Republicans regain the House. But Republicans still confident, even though it's going slower than they anticipated, as they wait for the final numbers and for the final margin for potential majority. Jake?
Yeah, I mean, we should point out, Manu, that earlier this year, Kevin McCarthy was anticipating and talking about how they were going to pick up 60 seats, 60 seats. And now they're talking about 20, and it's not clear that they're going to get there.
Yeah, no question about it. They had expected a huge wave before the Dobbs decision, which changed the dynamics completely. And then ultimately, there were concerns that they could potentially even be a single-digit victory for the Republicans. If it were that narrow, it would make McCarthy's task of governing incredibly difficult, given it would empower some of the folks on the far right of his conference, which is why they've invested a ton of money to expand their potential pickups to around 20 seats. No more are they talking about that 60-seat massive wave. A 20-seat majority, they believe, would be enough to get their agenda through and not have problems with that right flank of their conference. Can they get there, Jake? Still an open question at this late hour.
All right, Manu Raju at the House Republican headquarters, where they have yet to put on the Cool in the Gang in celebration. Phil Mattingly at the White House right now. What are you hearing from President Biden and his top aides?
Well, Jake, to give you a sense of things, just a few seconds ago, I got a text message from a Democratic official who said, I love the backdrop behind Manu Raju right now. There is a recognition that this is a night that has gone in a different direction, that even in probably their most optimistic view of things, for Democrats and for some White House officials, that this is better than what they could have imagined. Now, keep in mind, if there was one area where White House officials thought that there was a clear path and one thing that they definitely wanted to secure coming out of this night, it would be maintaining that Senate majority. That is not locked in by any means right now. There are still a number of very tight races out there. But when you look at the broader map and talking to White House officials, they understand right now that this is a very different picture than most people were predicting going into the night, a very different picture than some of them were expecting. Even last night, the president, the congenital optimist himself, made clear that holding on to the House was going to be a very tough task. Now, nobody here is predicting the Democrats will necessarily hold on to the House, but they are very clear that they have won a lot of races that looked like they would be tipping towards Republicans. One in particular stands out when you talk to White House officials. That was the victory of Abigail Spanberger earlier tonight down in Virginia. It was a toss-up race, and it was one that Republicans were really targeting. But it was also one that, to some degree, was personal for the president. It was Abigail Spanberger who criticized the president and his wide-ranging agenda in the New York Times last year after the first major loss for the president in terms of electoral sense, the Virginia governor's race. Biden called her, joked around with her, ended up visiting her district. White House officials very much wanted her to win because they knew that would be a sign that there was not going to be a wave. This had a potential for being a positive night for them. They won. And right now they feel pretty good about things, Jake.
Yeah, or at least not a negative night for them. The time they were fearing. We have projections for you now, and 5 of them are for Democrats winning, and 1 is for a Republican winning. In Tennessee, Republican Andy Ogles, a former mayor, conservative think tank executive, has flipped a seat in Tennessee. It is a Nashville area district that got much more Republican after redistricting. Democrat Greg Landsman has flipped a seat in Ohio. This is a surprise and a big win for Democrats. He beat longtime incumbent Republican Steve Chabot. This congressional district includes Cincinnati and became a lot bluer after redistricting. Democrat Marcy Kaptur in Ohio, one of the longest-serving members of the House, has been reelected in Ohio. She defeated a far-right Trump supporter who was at or near the Capitol on January 6th. That's after her district was made more Republican. She won anyway. Ohio State Legislator Amelia Sykes has won an open seat for Democrats in northern Ohio. It's a swing district that Biden won by 3. Kansas Democrat Sharice Davids has won a 3rd term. She's one of the first 2 Native American women to serve in Congress. That is a tough congressional district. It's a battleground district. She has been re-elected. Rhode Island State Treasurer Seth Magaziner has held on to an open seat for Democrats. It's a district Biden won by 14. Republicans thought they could pick it off in a wave year. Apparently, it's not the year they thought they were going to have. Let's look at the back.
Let me be
Are you ready to take this state back? Are you ready to turn things around? We had a big day today, and don't let those cheaters and crooks think anything different. Don't let them doubt. Don't let them put doubt in you. We have a movement. We have a movement, and we know it. Did you feel it? Did you feel that movement? You know, I did a lot of praying to God. I've been praying to God every day, all day. And I said to him, you make this victory come whatever way you want. If it comes decisive on Election Day, then bring it to us that way. If we have to fight through the BS and the garbage, then we will fight through the BS and the garbage. But how do you get fair and free elections? You have to fight and win to make them fair and free. And we needed another stark reminder that we have incompetent people running the show in Arizona. Who is ready for a change? We had great patriots around this state show up today. It was so amazing. They showed up at the polls early this morning only to be told the election equipment didn't work. 2 minutes into voting, we had people being told, well, you're going to have to put your little ballot over here into another box. Guys, the fake media back there tried to tell us we were wrong for asking questions about our elections. Guess what? We are going to win this. We are going to win this. How many of you remember a couple months ago, August 2nd, the primary election? Wasn't that long ago? We came out and they said, oh, wow, they're 10 points down. The fake news was asking us to concede. And we kept climbing, climbing, climbing. We turned 15 points around and we won by 5 points. I just want you to know it's early. It's very early, and if we have to take this fight through, we will. If it takes hours or days, we will. But the great news is every single drop of election ballots that have come in the last 3 drops have shown us up 85%, 87%, 81%. I just want the propagandists back there to know, don't embarrass yourselves. Don't embarrass yourselves. Don't do it again. You've done it too many times. But what I want you to know is that the same movement we had last night at that rally in Prescott, the same movement we had at that rally in Scottsdale, the same movement we had at the rallies we've had before with record people is the same movement we have right this second. Nothing has changed. And I want you to know we are going to monitor the ballots. We got to work in this system that we have right now. And as they continue to come in and our numbers go up, up, up like they did last time, when we win, first line of action is to restore honesty to Arizona elections. Now, God did not put us on this fight because it was going to be easy. Not one thing that we've had to go through has been easy. We beat back a billionaire in the establishment, okay? Let's just be frank. We have had everyone come against us, tens of millions of dollars in spending coming against us. Nothing has been easy. When corruption has risen to the level that it's at right now, it takes tough, strong people. Are you tough and strong? Are you willing to continue this fight? Are you willing for incompetency to play itself out and the victory to come at us? I am willing to wait for that. And when we win, and I think it will be within hours, we will declare victory. And we will get to work turning this around. No more incompetency and no more corruption in Arizona elections. Now, I love you. I love you. I kind of feel like it's Groundhog Day. We had November 3rd, 2020. That was called Incompetency 101. Then we had August 2nd, 2022, Incompetency in Elections 202. And now we're at Incompetency in Elections 303. We need honest elections, and we're going to bring them to you, Arizona. I assure you of that. The system we have right now does not work. We, the people, deserve to know on election night the winner and the loser. And we will bring that kind of election back to Arizona. I assure you of that. I love you too. I'm looking out, guys, I'm looking out here at these beautiful faces of the children. Put your hand up if you're a young one in this audience, if you're a child. This is what it is about. We got involved for our children, and we will not stop fighting until we have every legal vote counted. So we're going to be patient. We're going to be patient, guys. We're going to wait. Right now, I told you the votes that are coming in are going our way, 81, 85, and 87%. And we will take the victory when it comes. And we will turn this around. Thank you, everybody. Let the partying begin. We know this movement is just beginning. I love you, Arizona. I love you, Arizona. I love you. Thank you, Arizona.
It's about you, the people of the state, and your future. And after 2 decades as a judge and Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of North Carolina, I ran for the United States Senate for a simple reason. I love this state. But I see how Washington has failed people here. And over the last 19 months, I met North Carolinians in all 100 counties. You shared with me your struggles, from jobs that don't pay the rent, to medication that costs too much, to loved ones who need health care but couldn't afford it, to small business owners who are the backbone of our economy and who need leaders with a backbone to do what's best for them. I've spoken with farmers who are paying way too much for fertilizer and for gas for farm equipment. I've heard from those who've been fearful of the threats to our democracy. And you've shared with me your hopes. Good schools for your children, regardless of your zip code. Safe communities to live in. Opportunities to prosper and thrive. I've seen time and again what I already knew. The people of our state are tough, resilient, and generous. And I heard from so many of you who wanted Washington to set aside the special interests and corporate donors and instead focus on helping our families, nurturing our communities. But while Washington focuses on pointing fingers, the people of North Carolina have to point forward. Because I, like all of you, still believe in a future where our rights are protected and our freedoms fulfilled, where seniors can retire with dignity and prescription drugs don't break the bank, where people can work 1, not 2 or 3 jobs to support their families, and that you don't have to go to college to get that job, where your leaders work for you, not themselves and not their corporate donors and special interest groups, where an American dream is a possibility for tomorrow and for all of us. Not just a story of the past for some. And while I am indeed disappointed, I am not defeated. No. No, you won't. While I certainly wish for a different outcome, I am not leaving the fight because the issues that I ran on are too important. And an election doesn't determine my voice or my continued commitment to fight for each and every one of you. Progress in this country has never been promised. It always takes time. And always in the face of injustice and adversity, we continue to fight. By taking up the fight, we always make progress. It is because of this that I stand before you as the first African American woman to be nominated. African-American woman to serve as Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. This fight doesn't only make my dreams possible, it makes our dreams possible. And with unprecedented attacks on our rights and democracy hanging in the balance, we just cannot afford to give up the fight. So I thank each and every one of you for your hard work and your commitment for the last 2 years. I am so filled with gratitude and hope for having been in this fight alongside each and every one of you and all of you that came here this evening. I thank you so very much. The fight continues because progress will continue. Thank you all so very much, and may God bless.
because election results tonight, and that's because there's still ballots and votes out there that need to be counted. Now, right now, when it comes beyond those windows, the voting memory cards are into the voting machines. Those are arriving precinct by precinct and being uploaded right now into tabulation system, and those are the results that you're seeing about every hour and a half that are being drawn here in Maricopa County. So a lot happening back there, as well as those early ballots that were dropped off today. Those are still arriving there. And the back part of the Maricopa County tabulation center. Now, those will be counted first thing tomorrow morning. No idea how many have been dropped off. So there's just so many different layers right now. So many votes that still need to be counted, and that's why election officials say that most of those races will not see them called tonight because they have a lot of counting to do first thing tomorrow morning as well. Back to you.
Hey guys, good evening once again. It has been a long day for Maricopa County election workers. There's still a long night ahead for them. They are right inside this building working so hard to make sure that your vote is counted. But we do know there were some issues at polling places, specifically at 60 voting centers across Maricopa County today, and it was a printing issue preventing some ballots from being able to be run through the tabulation machines. Voters still had options to make sure they could cast a ballot today, but no less, the issue did prompt some outrage, specifically within the GOP. In fact, the RNC teamed up with the Masters and Lake campaigns and even filed an emergency motion to try and extend polling place hours until 10 p.m. tonight. A judge heard their argument. They also heard from the attorneys on the county side and ultimately denied that request, so polls closed at 7 o'clock as usual. The judge determined that it was clear that voters had an option to cast their ballots today. We recently talked to Maricopa County Sheriff Paul Panzone. He said that he was closely monitoring those issues and the chatter on social media today. Take a listen.
Did they want the mic plug in there? Because I didn't take it off. I think it's fine. All right. Thanks. Yeah. Well.
Better now? Thanks,
And Panzone says he and his team have over-prepared for Election Day, but there is a significant presence outside this building. Thankfully, we're told it's been a quiet night for them so far, but again, they're monitoring everything that you and I are seeing on social media. I just want to point out and again remind our viewers that folks here from the County Elections Department say they expect to have 95 to 99% of ballots in Maricopa County counted by Friday, and guys, that's completely normal. Back to you.
Hey, Gabe, can I have my laptop or you have
I'm not, but just, you can't take it off that page.
Okay. Can you add me? Do you mind adding me back in?
Oh, did you have it?
Yeah, I didn't mean to, but I did.
This is the tabulation center at the Maricopa County Elections Office, and there are a couple folks out here already. This tabulation center where they have early ballots, but the big highlight today was the tabulation. Thank you.
Yeah, it was earlier.
I'm so used to hearing it. That's weird when I do.
They would just have had to drop the physical ballot into that slot by the number 3. that is a secure ballot box. But it holds everything the county election officials say would then have been brought here to the tabulation center by a bipartisan team of election observers to be tabulated here. What we're really seeing right now is that this is vastly more than anything, how bad tabulation problems that led to any voter having, it precluding their right to vote. We don't know of any disenfranchised voters. America was now reported to Republicans with services and promises that every vote will be counted, and yet that misinformation is something that we saw back in 2020, and that is something we are going to be looking at in days ahead as we start to see the final results, because if those results are not going to public favor, we may start to see the echoes of 2020 and the protests and the really have never stopped. So that's what we've been watching today.
Gabe, that video's sent.
Oh, I love that question, and absolutely, it was really pretty inspiring, especially after 2020.
Jeff Schneider just annoying everyone in the group chat. How much more it's worth? Like, everyone gets how much time to work. The same thing that you want to do, he's doing. So it's like just Schneider being Schneider. I like the no responsiveness for 20 minutes.
Did you upload the share sound too? Is that how that?
We don't have anything beyond the one.
So it's on there.
Where?
In the folder.
Outside.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. I think so, yeah.
Thank you, Joe.
I can work that. So what we can do, we can lay it on the top.
Are we ever?
Not yet.
Okay.
Oh, you guys are trying to get some more B-roll.
Well, we never got back there yet.
Yeah, I think there's another truckload coming soon, so it should be pretty busy. You guys get that?
Red Bull right about now.
Random question. You happen to know Adam Waltz? Yeah, I used to work with him first job out of college at St. Joe, Missouri, north of Kansas City. Nathan Algren. Yeah, we worked together for about a year. I mean, he was already about a year into his contract. I was there for 2 years, but I know he just moved on from the
he's the CIO for like parks.
Yeah, so you still get to talk to him at least. So the city of Phoenix Parks?
Yeah, the city of Phoenix Parks.
Cool. I'm really hoping to meet up with him when I'm in town. It's just like a blast from the past. I do.
Yeah, he's always around.
Yeah, no, it's nice. I mean, having kids, you just kind of want that flexibility, I think, in his life a little bit more, so don't blame him for switching over to PR. It is now, and I just happened to come to Arizona for the election coverage for AP. I'm in DC now, so
and we'll be on
to expect. I was like, who do I know from Arizona? I didn't just into my head.
Yeah, he's the same as you probably remember.
Yes.
You might have more energy to be honest.
Oh, I bet. He's not expelling as much of it in the news.
No,
yeah,
exactly.
I just want to give it back to you.
Yeah, he's a great guy. So
Yeah, he is.
I'm looking forward to seeing him.
A little too nice, if you ask me.
I thought it was and what was your name?
Gabe.
Gabe. Okay, I'll let him know that I saw you.
Yeah. They're like that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm like, me and Gabe got the same hair now.
Yeah, we do, man. But just tell him it's better than his hair.
Oh, I will do. His hair's mediocre at best.
Tell him that, but he doesn't. He still thinks it's the best. It's funny.
Yeah.
Looks like you're live giving demonstrations earlier.
Hey Gabe, do you want to feed this one back for me?
Oh, good. You can't give them all.
Yeah. Have you ever tried doing a hotspot on your phone in addition to the other cards? Do that as well.
Oh, really? I've had to do that maybe once or twice.
Oh, really? You can do one black 5,
Or you can do one hotspot plus whatever card you have in there.
Oh, yeah.
And so it sometimes can boost you just enough to get out.
I have it on. Okay.
The other day I turned mine on and all of the video was green and red for no reason.
That is.
You just shut it, turn it on and on, back off, and it
Yeah. We're not perfect. You do is always
the best thing. I mean, it's entirely possible,
See the decision? It's that kind of night. So like, I feel like we were just like here like last night.
It feels like a week ago.
Oh my god, dude, that was last night. Because that was a long night as well. Dragging on. Oh, I think the elections are coming in. Padre says we just have the elections, so maybe the truck are driving in. Oh no, never mind. Just got 2 so they just got here. I thought you said that we just
Wow, I'm way off. I'm in front of the wrong camera. I'm so out of it. That was so bad.
yeah, like was the songs that were paying attention to the lyrics. To you?
Basically, same
I'm looking at the next slide. So coming out for Maricopa County, it's just minutes away. Stay with us.
They just said they might have some numbers.
They'll be able to drive a truck. Or no, sorry, they got both more larger trucks on there. We'll have more results.
Well, because it's a lot.
Oh, sounds good. And they did come with it like another might even be the next 5
Thank God, because I didn't know what I was going to say.
Are you almost up? Are you almost up? Are you almost up?
I try to tell people that there's, if you want to do the VO, I sent in VO. It's in news stuff. So you want me to toss to that? Yeah, I'm just going to say that yeah, we were able to go in, you know, into the warehouse, I guess. They're going into a break and then we're right after the break. I don't have how many minutes left.
Yeah, John and Christina, that's exactly right. All of the ones that weren't able to be tabulated earlier today because of that voting issue, to the counties and worked on it, they're still going to be counted, but we might not find out those ballots until tomorrow morning. Actually, they moved it behind because they had them. It says that box 3 actually, I think it is out there, and that's when they're able to put those ballots in there earlier today. And the ones who counted tomorrow night, that's going to be a little bit of a hold up as far as those results. But I did just speak with the county commissioner's office. They said so far 245,000 people here in Maricopa County have voted in today. We also have good results for the ballots being tabulated. The first results we saw around 4 long from the more than 200,000 early ballots dropped off the board Friday. Chairman of the Board Supervisors dropped off early ballots. They don't have numbers on those right now. Plenty of people already dropped off early ballots at the post office today.
denies the right to vote. I know. They said that they were not able to have their vote counted during that time. They put it into that box that was free that we showed you earlier, or they went to another one, or they went to another
I've never seen it.
He said it's not.
Yeah, I think we got half.
Again, as I mentioned, we're going to have more information, more results. They said they're going to report back
See you
here.
tomorrow. Thank you.
So we'll send it back to you guys right now. But reporting on
Ticket. Right. Absolutely. Our Governor Sisolak. He has been relentless in his fight for the people of Nevada, and we are better off because of his service to the state. That's right. And we need Dina Titus, right? We need Stephen Horsford. And yes, we need Susie Lee back in Congress. They have always stood up for us. And I have to thank our constitutional officers who are running. They are phenomenal. Our state legislators who are running. And every single Democrat who put their name on the ballot to defend our communities across this state. I am so grateful to all of you for being here and for standing with us here in Nevada. We are not done yet. Here's one thing I know. Our positive energy got us to where we are today, and we are going to make sure that positive energy continues to flow this week. We are going to get this done. In the meantime, I want everybody, the governor and I both, stay here, celebrate, keep those positive thoughts, positive energy going, and we are going to get this done. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Democrats, for coming out. Thank you. And now our incredible Governor Steve Sisolak.
Good evening, everyone. All the national pundits call her Senator Catherine Cortez Masto. We just call her CCM. That's it. Good evening, all of you. Thank you so much for joining us here this evening. We all knew this was going to be a close race. We said it at every campus kickoff that we had. Donna's Garage heard it from us 100 times. All the rallies we had, all the GOTV efforts we had, we said it was going to be close. And it is. We ask you to please, please be patient. We need to make sure that every single vote is counted, because we need every single vote, and we're going to count every single vote. And we believe strongly when the job is done, we're going to win this thing. But right now, at this moment, I want to thank Nevada voters for doing their part. I want to thank each and every one of you for doing your part to help us. Making your voice heard, being a part of our democracy. It's so important, now more than ever before. And thank you for being here tonight, and for doing everything you can to support Democrats in the state of Nevada. And you did it all, from knocking on doors, to phone banking, to donating, to emailing, to texting, all these social platforms that I didn't even know what they were before a couple months ago. You guys had a presence there and helped us every step of the way. And thank you to our other Democrats that are out on the ballot with us tonight. Inspiring leaders like CCM, Senator Catherine Cortez Masto, Representatives Susie Lee, Dina Titus, and Stephen Horsford. We need to get them all back in Washington, D.C. to hold that Democratic majority in the House. Lieutenant Governor Lisa Cano Burkhead, who has been a stalwart supporter of ours. Attorney General Eric Ford, who's just been a rock star for us. Future Secretary of State Cisco Aguilar. Treasurer Zach Conine. and future Controller Ellen Spiegel, and our incredibly talented Senate and Assembly members who are going to join us in getting this across the finish line tonight and in the future next couple days. As I said, at this moment, our race is certainly too close to call. The counting could go on certainly all night and will stretch into the next few days as the mail-in ballots and the drop-off ballots are counted. And there's a lot of mail left to count, and that's a good thing for us. In fact, ballots that are postmarked today will be counted in the next few days and will help us all achieve victory. So we need to be patient. We need to be patient and make sure that everyone's voice is heard in the next few days. As we've always said, Battle-born state is a battleground state. And we knew this would go down to the wire. But we knew we had you on our side, which is a positive thing that we have in our favor. I truly believe that when we have the final count, when that is finally done, the votes will be on our side, and I'll be going back to Carson City with all my friends to represent all of you. And I know that CCM and our Congress people are going to be going back to Washington, D.C. to represent all of you. Finally, and most importantly, I want to have a special shout out to our election workers who have undergone a tremendous amount of stress, worked an incredible amount of hours, taken a lot of criticism that they were not deserving of, and kept coming to work to make it easier for us to vote and to count all of these ballots, spending hours counting and processing ballots, and thousands of mail ballots in the next few days. Thank you to each and every one of them for helping us in this process. And finally, to all of you here tonight, each and every one of you, if I could shake each and every one of your hands and give you a hug, believe me, I'd be the first one to do it, but I think it would take a little too long for all that to happen. I want you to have a good time, stay here, enjoy yourselves, but we're not going to have final results tonight. It's going to be a couple days, so I encourage you to go home, get some sleep, and let the counting continue tomorrow and Thursday, and we'll be celebrating in the next few days. God bless each and every one of you people. Thank you. Thank you.
You know, there's 100,000 votes out here. The margins were done. This state is so competitive. You have a lot of Republican votes still to be counted, but your eyes don't lie. The biggest proportion of the vote, when they come up here on the map a little bit, is here. And we're getting into the suburbs right around Atlanta, where most competitive races in statewide elections in America decided in the suburbs. Cobb County, we're a 14-point advantage right now, 15-point advantage right now for Senator Warnock. Still a good chunk of votes out there. Fulton County is Atlanta, the largest county in the state. Atlanta here, suburbs to the north and south, about 10% of the state population. Again, Joe Biden won this county by 46. Senator Warnock's doing better than that. If you add it all up there, so
50-50 in the Senate, and the Democrats have now gained one in Pennsylvania. I realize I have to delete the record to show you the results here, but basically, look, the three vulnerable Democratic incumbents that we're waiting on here are in these three states: Georgia, Arizona, and Nevada. By winning Pennsylvania, it means that the Democrats can afford to lose to one of these three, and they would still control the Senate. The Republicans now would need to get at least two of these three seats. Unfinished piece of business is in Wisconsin. We can show you that in a minute. Republicans are probably, on the whole, encouraged by the numbers. Republican counties kind of outside the immediate Atlanta metro area. And here's what I noticed. Not only is Kent getting 72.4% of the vote, this is a core Republican area. Check out the Libertarian in this race, the governor's race. 0.9% in this core Republican county. Now take a look in the Senate race. The Libertarian's getting 3%, and Walker's getting 65%. And we're seeing this pattern throughout this area in counties like this. You're seeing the strength for the Libertarian candidate. Essentially, it looks like folks who voted for Brian Kemp.
All right, Michigan! First and foremost, me and Governor Whitmer have to say thank you. Now, we have some personal thank yous we need to say. Certainly, I want to thank my wife, Ellen, my mother and father who've joined us this evening. Thank you, Mama and Dad. And I want to thank every single team member, supporter, servant to the public and the people of the state of Michigan who work so hard every day. And we're so excited about this night. This has been a good night, y'all. All of the work has led to successes everywhere. We have seen all three ballot proposals say yes in Michigan. We saw our Attorney General re-elected. We saw our Secretary of State brought back for another 4 years. And even Fox News has called this race for Gretchen Whitmer and Garland Gilchrist. Now, we have respect for the people who do the work in our electoral process. We have respect for the people who are on the first line and the first responders for democracy. And Governor Whitmer and I want to thank them. I want to thank them for the work they're doing right now as we speak to count every vote in every county and every precinct in the state of Michigan. And we want to let them do that work. because we respect that work and we respect democracy. That is power to the people, because all the people count to us. So we want to thank everybody for sticking with us. Or as I like to say, for standing tall with us. And we're going to let this process play out. We're going to let this process play out. We're going to make sure that every person has their vote counted. And then we're going to have something to say about it. Am I right? But while we are waiting for that process, I think Ben Gresh got something to say about it.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. Oh, man, thank you, everybody. I am so happy to be here with all of you and my family and my partner in governance and all the phenomenal Michiganders who worked so hard to make sure that our voices were heard, to make sure that we set our state on the course that is focused on the future, that is focused on solving problems, not demonizing others, that is focused on ensuring that Michigan is the place to build your life, to raise your family, and to make a great existence here. We have come a long way, Michigan. We are thrilled at the unexpected high turnout. We are thrilled that the 3 ballot initiatives got passed. And I never thought I'd be so happy about Fox News, but I'm glad they called this election too. As the Lieutenant Governor said, we are waiting for some final numbers, and we do not want to keep you here all night long, but we are feeling damn good about where we are headed. And the prospect of leading this state for 4 more years is something for which we are incredibly grateful and excited about. And regardless of who is in office, we will always work with anyone who actually wants to solve a problem, because there's nothing more important than the people of this state to us. All of the people of this state. And so I thank you for your encouragement, your support. I thank you for being here until the wee hours of the morning. And I don't know if you want to come back for a little press conference in the morning, but we will be ready to talk about what the future of this state is for the next 4 years. I love you all. I love my husband, my girls, and my 3 stepsons. I am so grateful to be here with every single one of you. Have a wonderful rest of the night. Make good choices. That's what I say to my children. And we will continue to serve. We will continue to lead. We will make Michigan a leader, a place where every person is respected and protected under the law, a place where women make their own decisions, a place that protects civil rights and workers' rights, and where there's a path for everyone. Thank you, everybody. I love you.
Come on. Take a look.
You want to do Pennsylvania?
No, we can do whatever you want to do. I was just looking at some of these governors.
What a stark difference between the abandoned Newtown High School in Pennsylvania, where the Oz headquarters is, and the jubilant rally at Fetterman headquarters when votes are still being counted. What's going on in Pennsylvania right now?
They bring it up right here, right now. 60. That's the Federal campaign headquarters. You can hear them now. 65,957 votes. It's in a big Commonwealth like Pennsylvania. You say that's a narrow margin. If you've lived through recent elections there, you look at that and you're saying, okay, how are we doing? So they're out here. Excuse me 1 second. It's a little dry throat there, but look at this. I mean, this is just, again, Joe Biden wins Allegheny County by 20 points. Don Fetterman outperforming him.
By 28 points.
By 28 points in the second largest population center in the state. Win big where the people are, that helps you. Don Fetterman is doing it right there in Allegheny County. Then you move to the east, Philadelphia. You bring up Philadelphia. Again, running it up 70%. This is important. Remember the presidential election when we were counting votes Thursday into Friday into Saturday when we finally called it? Joe Biden had a big lead like that and still had votes to count. Right? There's no guarantee they come in at 80 to 17, but if they keep coming in disproportionately that way in the largest area by far, 12%, 12.5% of the population, that is good news for us.
There's no guarantee that they're going to come in at 80.8 and 17.5, but they're likely going to come in at something like this.
They came in, I kept saying this to be careful for 3 days during the 2020 count. They came in almost exactly.
Right. I mean, because you have so much of it. It's 69%, not 1%. It's probably like this, and the margin, 63.5, is pretty much exactly what this margin is. That margin is what Biden did over Trump.
Right. And so Fetterman is tracking Biden in the most Democratic area of the state. And again, then you come out, you come to Montgomery County first. 26 for Biden. You're right in the same.
Exactly the same.
So you see the narrow Fetterman lead, like the Biden lead. Bucks County, this is the one they wanted to make a lot more competitive, and it is. This is the most competitive of the color counties around. It's at 5% of the state population, 4.4 for Biden. Again,
it's about 4.4. Fetterman is matching at this point, at this snapshot, this moment in time. Fetterman is matching what Biden did in this very important Democratic area, capital D Democratic, of Pennsylvania.
Right. So voters are seeing Oz, at least more and more voters are seeing Oz as acceptable to them, if you look at it that way, than did when you look at the gubernatorial candidate. Well, Josh Shapiro is, Mastriano is not coming close to Oz in many of these places, and we've talked earlier tonight about the issues positions and the profile of Mastriano, and you see that happening again in other conversations about election deniers being rejected. So as you watch this one play out again, most elections are decided here. The Democrats need a boost out there. Fetterman's getting the boost he needs out there, and he's getting good margins here. I just want to come up to Northampton County right here. This is just one of my, I go back to my swing counties. Normally, the person who wins Northampton County carries the Commonwealth. Donald Trump carried it narrowly, won the Commonwealth, won the presidency. Biden flipped it on the Commonwealth, won the presidency. At the moment, Don Fetterman winning what Pennsylvania's going to tell you, pretty critical swing county right there. Doesn't guarantee it, but again, you look here in a close election, it has stayed right there. So what you do now is, you have Kate out there, we have other people out there to check in to see where are they going to keep counting throughout the night, where might we have to come back at this in the morning. But even if I'm not saying they're done, if you went to bed right now with Don Fetterman and you look at where the live outstanding votes are, well, that's if you want to, let me flip it. If you want to understand why the Oz Party is quiet.
Why the Oz Party is non-existent.
Right. The size of the circles is the share of the outstanding vote. The color tells you who is leading in that area.
And what is it, Philly and Delaware County? Is Delaware County, how many votes are outstanding in Delaware County?
That's Chester.
Delco.
Yeah, Delco. We're out here. We're out here in Chester, and we come into Delco.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so you got...
They only have 37% reporting, and this is going to be a district that Fetterman takes by at least 25 points.
27-point district for Biden when you round up. So, yes.
I'm just saying, this is a ton of Fetterman votes to have in that county.
Yes, barring some huge surprise, right? Again, there's never a guarantee, but to your point about Philadelphia, we saw this happen in 2020. They came in within a point or two as they continued to flow in, and then you come up, we're pretty close in Montgomery County, where Fetterman's running high, and there's a smaller share still out, in Bucks County is up to 93%. So just to reiterate your point, Oz is competitive here, right? So even though it's blue, Fetterman's leading. Oz will get some votes here because he's competitive here. Fetterman's running way ahead here, but there's not that many more votes to come in. But then you come over here, the circle gets bigger in a place. This is more competitive, Chester County here. But when you, as Jake just noted, in Delaware County, right here, a larger share of the votes out and a much bigger lead for Fetterman, which is why if you're looking at this, here's where you are in the race. 65,000 votes, 66,000 votes ahead if you come up. Jake, let's go back to you.
That's right, John, because CNN has a major projector. Up to speed in the balance of power. 100 Senate seats, Democrats have 47 of them, including one pickup. Republicans have 46 of them, 7 seats remain. Republicans need to pick up one net Democratic seat. Right now, they're not there, and Democrats just picked up one Republican seat.
Absolutely huge news, huge development. As Jake said, a pickup in Pennsylvania, but victory for Democrats on a national level, because this was where they went. President Biden basically was there so much. Oh, there you go. Look at how excited the people in Fetterman headquarters are right now.
To say right now, my goodness. I am, yeah. So I'm so humbled. Thank you so much, really. Thank you. Thank you. What is it? It's like 1:30 in the morning and you're still here hanging in? We launched this campaign almost 2 years ago. And we had our slogan. It's on every one of those signs right now. Every county, every vote. Every
I never expected that we were going to turn these red counties blue, but we did what we needed to do, and we had that conversation across every one of those counties. And tonight, that's why I'll be the next U.S. Senator from Pennsylvania. Thanks to all of you. All of you. Thank you. Thank you so much. It made this grateful right now. And I want to thank, of course, all these supporters all across Pennsylvania, all in this room, all across the nation, everyone that chipped in $10 to help us get here. Thank you. And also, I also really want to thank my family. My mother, my father, Carl, Susan, my brother Greg. Where's Giselle? Where's Giselle? Everyone's here. Yeah, Giselle. Who 6 months ago she saved my life. Walking out of a Sheetz bathroom, she recognized what was happening. And also, and my children, Carl, Grace, August, hey. So everyone, just thank you. And I also want to thank my team as well, the best team. So many names, Brendan, my campaign manager. Rebecca, Bobby, Joe, Jamie, Jason, everybody, all my team. So many that made that part of it. And also thank all of the supporters. Also, I'm just so proud of the race that we ran. And this campaign has always been about fighting for everyone who's ever been knocked down, that ever got back up. This race is for the future of every community all across Pennsylvania. For every small town or person that ever felt left behind, for every job that was ever been lost, for every factory that was ever closed, for every person that works hard but never ever got ahead. I'm proud of what we ran on. Protecting a woman's right to choose, raising our minimum wage, fighting the union way of life. Healthcare is a fundamental human right. It saved my life, and it should all be there for you when you ever should be here. Standing up to corporate greed, making more things right here in America and right here in Pennsylvania, and standing up for our democracy. 20 years ago, I came to Braddock to start a GED program, and I've spent these last 2 decades fighting for the forgotten communities. Because no community deserves to be left behind. No one deserves to be abandoned, and every place matters. And I want to thank all of you amazing supporters, all of you, and all watching and every. We bet on the people of Pennsylvania, and you didn't let us down. And my promise to all of you is I will never let you down. Thank you, Pennsylvania. Thank you so much.
Now the mother in me tells everyone to go to bed tonight and get some sleep.
In our state and the West, we're facing a historic drought that caused a shortage of the Colorado River. And the fundamental right for a woman to make her own decision about abortion, that's been taken away. But here's the thing. The way to solve these problems isn't by pointing fingers and dividing people. It's by listening and finding common ground. Now, in the last statement he gave before he died, John McCain said, and I quote, "We have always had so much more in common with each other than in disagreement." If only we remember that and give each other the benefit of the presumption that we all love our country, we'll get through these challenging times. He went on and said, "We will come through them stronger than before. We always do." Now, I believe that too. But it just doesn't happen on its own. It requires us to be active participants in our democracy, to demand the truth from our elected leaders, and to find the common ground that we know exists, but can sometimes be hard to see, because that's when we are strongest. Now, there is no country in the world better at solving big problems than the United States of America. We put people on the moon in the 1960s. And we're about to do it again, by the way. And then we'll go on to Mars. We are capable of extraordinary things when we come together and just put our minds to it. That's who we are. We create, we innovate, we build. That's what we're capable. That's what we're capable of when our leaders focus on unity rather than division. When we tell the truth, and when we see common ground, when we work to move forward, not backward. Folks, it's been the honor of my life to represent Arizona in the United States Senate. And for as long as I'm there, I'll be honest with you, I will protect our country and our democracy, and I will work with everyone. I will work with everyone to create a brighter future for our state and our country. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you.
there. There's a huge stain up there. We gotta be playing hip to be a square for the corner time.
So, we just did an audio check in the multi-room. I didn't have it up.
No.
Audio check.
They didn't have the audio check. Like
didn't talk?
He was talking, I there was nothing coming in there.
So, that might happen in real life.
I'm wondering if we should have you with a boom and a cube mic up there. I don't know. Good, now they got the marble.
hit on 15.
the words of Dr. King, are tied in a single garment of destiny, caught up in an inescapable network of mutuality, that what affects one directly affects all indirectly. In other words, we are all in this together. And so I understand that at this late hour, you may be a little tired. I may be a little tired for now. But whether it's later tonight or tomorrow or 4 weeks from now, we will hear from the people of Georgia. We will hear from the people who have given me the great honor of my life, representing you in the United States Senate, and we will move forward together. I remain as committed to this work as I have ever been, and I look forward to continuing on that journey together over the next 6 years. God bless each and every one of you. Good morning. Keep the faith. Keep looking up. Take care.
Chairwoman of the RNC, Ronna McDaniel, Chairman of the RNCC, Tom Bellamy, and the next Speaker of the House of Representatives, Kevin McCarthy.
Thank you all very much. I know it's a late night, but first I want to start by thanking every single candidate and their families for running. I also want to thank the staff and the volunteers across this country that supported this movement. Thank you to everyone who voted Republican for the very first time. And I want to thank the millions of supporters across this country. You know, 2 years ago when I became leader, Republicans had less than 200 seats in the House. That cycle, we picked up 14 seats when every single person said that would be impossible. If you believe in freedom, hard work, and the American dream, these results proved that there is a place for you in the Republican Party. Now tonight, we built upon those gains 2 years ago, and it is clear that we are going to take the House back. In New York, we defeated the Democrat campaign chairman, Sean Patrick Maloney, which will be the first time in over 40 years a DCCC chair lost his re-election. Not only that, but on Long Island, Anthony Diaz-Pasito won a seat that Joe Biden carried by 17 points. We are on the verge of historic gains in New York. In Florida, we gained 4 seats alone. we are poised to sweep the entire state of Iowa. And I will tell you, from the southern border of Monica de la Cruz to Virginia Beach, of Jen Kiggins, to Detroit with John James, and to Houston with Wesley Hunt, we are expanding this party. Now let me tell you, you're out late, but when you wake up tomorrow, we will be in the majority and Nancy Pelosi will be in the minority. The American people are ready for a majority that will offer a new direction, that will put America back on track. Republicans are ready to deliver it. It's a new direction towards an economy that is strong, where you can fill up your tank, feed your family, where your paychecks grow and not shrink. A new direction towards a nation that is safe, where communities are protected, law enforcement is respected, and criminals are prosecuted. A new direction towards a future that's built on freedom, where children come first and are taught to dream big. And a new direction towards a government that is accountable, where government works for you instead of against you. Republicans will work with anyone who's willing to join us to deliver this new direction that Americans have demanded. But there's no time to waste. Our work begins now. Let's get America back on track. Thank you, God bless, and good night.